So yung magiging topic natin today ay yung accreditation tapos yung certification. Next naman doon, yung strategic direction of DOD, tsaka yung responsibilities, at tsaka yung key future uncertainties, pati yung possible future scenarios. So dito sa possible future scenarios, tsaka yung sa key future, dito ni Joshua Pines yung secret namin. So dito tayo sa accreditation. So pakibasa natin.
So, accreditation is a concept of process and staff. It's a concept of accreditation is a meaning of staff, regulation, with official content, evaluation, and accountability improvement of educational quality. It provides a structure for public accountability and a way of ensuring that educational institutions will continuously seek ways to upgrade and enhance the quality of education and training.
So, balik pag sabing accreditation, parang ito yung pagbibigay ng parang guarantee na itong itong organization na to or itong bagay na to, so accredited siya, like quality yung mga methods na ginagamit nila dito. So, syempre, meron tayong accreditation sa iba't ibang field. So, sa education, so pakibasa muna. Quizzes.
Accreditation in the education sector usually refers to college and universities. Accredited institutions of learning have met the widely accepted standards of academia. They can deliver quality education to their students and be eligible to receive federal or state funding.
So, ibig sabihin nun, kapag pumasok yung accreditation dito sa education, for example, sa dati kong school, yung HSL Real College, bale, accredited siya ng ibig sabihin, quality yung pagtuturo nila, yung methods nila, at saka yung practices ng mga teacher doon. Tapos, next naman dito sa healthcare, sige,
There are many regulatory guidelines, policies, and laws that govern healthcare institutions. Accreditation validates compliance with such regulations and endorses the quality of the care these institutions provide.
So, bali dito sa healthcare, syempre, sa healthcare, like, meron ditong JCI or Joint Commission, basta, parang siyang accreditation body, like, isa siyang entity na nag-accreditate sa mga healthcare facilities. Tapos, pag na-accredit yung isang facility na yun, ibig sabihin lang doon, syempre, quality, yung methods, tsaka may care in terms of handling. Next naman sa business, so pakibasa, sige, volunteer.
Possibly the most well-known business accreditation is the Better Business Bureau, also known as the BBB. The Bureau promotes and maintains standard in for advertising, business practices, and complaints. The BBB may review a business to determine whether it meets the Bureau standard.
So, dito naman sa business, so in terms of accreditation, so yung BBB or yung Better Business Bureau, siya yung example nung entity na nag-accreditate sa isang business. Ang example siguro nito sa Pilipinas, yung DTI siguro. Tapos, under naman ng education, meron tayong tinatawag na institutional tsaka yung programmatic. So, ano nga ba yung pag institutional? Janela Villa Kabawatan. Okay. Ano, sa institutional? Institutional.
Institutional accreditation applies to an entire institute of learning. This type of accreditation is located.
So, ibig sabihin, pag institutional, nakapaloob sa accreditation na to sa buong university. Tapos, next naman sa programmatic, Jonas Joseph Peguero. Bali sa programmatic programmatic naman, ito yung parang accreditation, pero under lang siya ng kada department. Tapos, bali yun lang yung parang pagkakaiba nila. So, pag institutional, tanda lang natin na ang sakop nito buong university. Pero kapag programmatic, ang sakop lang nito ay yung parang kada department na nasa loob ng university na yun. Tapos next naman yung accreditation in terms sa healthcare. So, ito yung mga entity. Christine. Pakibasa na lang. Oo.
Utilization review application. URAC or VURAC with credits various entities including hospital and pharmacies. Then, susunod is the NCQA certification applies to various organizations and programs with individual healthcare providers of medical groups. Then, PHC accredits over 20,000 healthcare organizations and programs including general hospital, community hospital, healthcare organization, nursing homes, rehabilitation facilities, ambulatory care providers, medical laboratories. Then the last one is accreditation of rehabilitation facilities or CARP. The CARP again is various types of programs including behavioral health, and youth services, employment and community service, medical rehabilitation, and treatment for substance.
So, dito naman sa utilization review accreditation, so ang sakop lang nito ay yung hospitals o kaya yung establishments na may kailangan sa hospitals tsaka yung mga pharmacy. Next naman yung NCQA, so accreditation din siya. Pero ang ina-accreditate nito yung medical groups. Tapos next naman sa TJC, ang ina-accreditate naman nito ay yung mga supplementing organizations at saka yung program. Tapos kapag Commission on Accreditation of Rehabilitation, so ito naman din ang palasakot nito yung programs, tapos yung mga rehabilitation center. Bali, yun yung parang specialized na field nila. Tapos next naman sa purpose of accreditation. JP. JP. Oo.
Demonstrating competence in delivering educational services with the professional, stakeholders protection, certification of conformity by a legal body with predefined standards, building stakeholders' trust in the accrediting institution, the accredited entity, and the accreditation process.
So, ang kaming purpose ng accreditation, syempre yung competence, like, na parang ginagaranti nito na yung ganitong like organization or kaya yung establishment. So, quality yung ginagawa nila. Tapos, so, ano rin sila, nakapagpataas din ng stakeholders na confidence. So, siguro dito sa accreditation, ang maganda dito ay yung tumataas yung confidence tsaka yung reputation. So, ayan. Tapos dito naman sa trends in accreditation. Danis. Accreditation lahat. Trends. Oo, lahat.
The increase in the number of local and regional accrediting bodies. Independent local non-governmental accrediting bodies will face accreditation mechanisms that rely either on government approval or on visits by foreign accrediting bodies. Outcome-based models are more popular. Many accrediting bodies have modified their accreditation philosophies from content-based educational approaches toward outcome-based models. Next, accreditation of graduate programs. Whereas in the past, accrediting bodies have almost exclusively accredited programs leading to a baccalaureate degrees, a growing number of now accredited MSc and MA programs. The increased role of mutual recognition agreements. Participation as a signatory in an international accord had become a principal goal of new and existing accrediting bodies and has served on one hand to increase communication and cooperation between accrediting bodies and on the other to homogenize the criteria and approaches of these bodies.
So, dito naman sa trends in accreditation, syempre, unang-una mas local and regional yung pag-handle nito. Next naman yung shift to outcome-based models. So nakafocus na yung sa mga knowledge, yung trends accreditation, para nakafocus na siya dun sa mga knowledge instead na just dun sa course content nila. Next naman, dun sa graduate program accreditation. So, accrediting bodies increasingly include master's program. Tapos, next naman, yung mutual recognition agreement. So, kapag dito naman, so yung accrediting body ay hinihin nila makapag-tie dun sa mga international na territory or international countries. Next naman, dito sa certification. So, ano nga ba yung certification? Natin.
Certification is the written assurance that a product, service, or individual meets defined requirements. It's a type of third-party assessment performed by accredited institutions. Accredited institutions can confer certification for products or individuals.
So, ang certification, bale, siya yung, di ba, yung confirmation na yung product or service or yung tao na meet yung certain standards na parang hinilapag nila doon. So, ano nga ba pinagkaiba kapag certification tapos accreditation? Bale, kapag certification, ibig sabihin nun, yung person na to, na meet, or yung person na to, yung product or service na meet yung standard. Pero kapag accreditation naman yun, parang nagpa-pertain yun sa organizations. Tapos, meron din tayong iba't ibang certification levels. So, pakibasa lahat.
Certification levels. First party, the entity that provides the service or products is also the assuring body. This is common for federal agencies. Second, the entity that provides the service or product belongs to an association that acts as the assuring body. Coffee vendors, for instance, will belong to a coffee processing association that assures the quality or origin of the coffee beans. Third, the assuring body is an independent agency that provides certification from an objective stance.
So, kapag sa certification levels, sa first party, ibig sabihin, yung certificate, bali sina-certify niya, ay, pamali. Bali sina-certify niya yung organization or product within their group. Tapos, next naman, pag sa second party, so, members din siya ng, association din siya na nag-certify dun sa product na, dun sa, sa members din nila. Pero siguro, ang pinagkaiba neto, yung first party, mas common siya, mas common siya dun sa mga federal agency kumpara dun sa second party. Next naman, yung third party, ito yung parang independent yung certification nito. Like, for example, ito, sa Tinas. Bale, hindi to kasali sa member neto. So, independent. Like, iba, galing sa ibang group yung magsa-certify neto. Bale, galing yung third party. Tapos, next naman, dun sa types ng certification, so, pakibasa, meron. Lahat.
Academic degrees conferred by colleges and university are for students who completed specific levels of education. Environmental certification shows the product complies with a certain environmental standard. Music recording certification confirms that a piece of music has sold a specific number of units. Product certification shows that the consumer product has passed performance and quality assurance assessment and meets the standard in line with the federal or industry regulations.
So, dito naman sa certification types, meron tayong apat. So, academic degrees, environmental, music recording, tapos yung product. So, kapag academic degree, syempre, nakuha to sa mga schools tulad netong PUP. Next naman, sa environmental Ito naman yung sa mga product na certification. Siyempre, academic sa school, yung environmental, dun sa mga, siyempre, sa environmental standards. Tapos next naman, siyempre, yung music recording. So, verify sa music piece has reached a specific sales milestones. Tapos, next naman sa product, so, ensure naman ito na yung product na meet yung standard, tapos safe yung pagkakapak dun sa product na yon. Tapos, next naman yung purpose ng certification. Jason. Last.
Purpose of certification. Establishing standards of experience and knowledge required to complement ethical practice of care management. Encourage ongoing professional education and training of individuals engaged in care management. Formally recognizing those individuals who meet the eligibility requirements of the National Academy of Certified Care Managers and pass the validated and standardized care manager certification examination. Educating allied health professionals, employers, and consumers to help them make informed decisions when evaluating the skills and qualifications of a care manager.
So, syempre, sa purpose ng certification, syempre, kailangan natin mag-set ng standard, tapos mag-define tayo ng skill. Tapos next naman sa, dito sa pangalawang tamtax, nag-encourage to ng learning. So, nag-promote siya ng continuous education. Tapos next naman sa pangatlo, sa formally recognizing those individuals. So, syempre, recognize to ng competence, like, itong bagay na to, itong tao na to, so na-meet niya yung mga requirements, na-meet niya yung standards. Next naman, yung educating allied health professionals. So, ayun, yung mga health professional, tsaka yung mga employer. So, gumagawa sila ng informed decision when evaluating care managers' qualification. Tapos next naman, dito sa trends in certification, Mariela. Lahat.
Lahat? Lahat yan? Personalized learning paths. Tailoring learning paths to individual needs and preferences enhances engagement and ensures that learners acquire the skills they need effectively. Micro-learning modules. Micro-learning allows learners to absorb information in bite-sized portions, enhancing retention and accommodating busy schedules. Augmented reality and virtual reality integration. AR and VR technologies are revolutionizing training by creating immersive interactive environments. This trend enhances attention, increases engagement, and provides hands-on experiences without real-world risks. Artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning. These technologies facilitate adaptive learning paths, ensuring that learners receive content tailored to their strengths and weaknesses. AI-driven assessment is also enable real-time feedback, allowing learners to track their progress and areas for improvement.
So, syempre, dito sa trends in certification, una na doon yung personalized learning paths. So, parang kina-customize neto yung terms ng learning based sa kung paano sila makapag-adapt. Next naman dun sa AR tsaka dun sa VR integration. So, gagamit ng AR and VR para makapag hands-on training. Kasi, di ba kapag na-experience natin ito ganito, mas madali siyang matutunan. May ganun mga field. Tapos, next naman sa micro-learning module. So, bale, ganito siya kalaki. Bale, i-break ko siya into chunks. Para mas bite-size siya at mas madali siyang parang mas follow. Ayun. Tapos, next naman sa AI and machine learning. Tapos, dito naman yung paggamit ng smart technology para makapag-adapt. Tapos, makapagbigay ng real-time feedback para sa mga learners. Tapos, next naman yung strategic direction of DOD, IT, and information security. So, pakibasa nung the strategic direction of DOD, IT, and information. Uy, dulas. Information security.
Sa report ko, the strategic direction of Department of Defense IT and Domestic Security, mayroong 7 na tinatakel, which is cyber security enhancement, digital modernization, zero trust architecture, cyber workforce development, joint information, partnership and collaboration, saka resilience and sustainability. Makipasa ako ng ano, para
The Department of Defense, DoD, Information Technology refers to the systems tool and technologies used by the DoD to manage information, support military operations, enhance decision-making, and ensure the security of communications and data. DoD IT encompasses a wide range of applications, hardware, and software systems designed to support the critical functions of the U.S. military and its defense infrastructure.
So basically, sinasabi lang dyan, introduction ng strategic DOD. Next. Alex.
Cybersecurity advancement is essential to safeguard critical military system, data, and infrastructure
Sa first strategic direction, sinasabi lang dyan sa cybersecurity enhancement na pinapastrengthen niya yung mga defenses against the cyber threats by improving security measures, updating policies, and implementing advanced technologies para mag-protect natin yung sensitive data. Next is digital modernization.
Transform and update legacy IT systems, applications, and networks to ensure the DoD technological capabilities remain agile, efficient, and
Dito naman, since IT nga, ano natin IT is pa-upgrade ng pa-upgrade habang tumatagal yung panahon. Dito rin sa digital modernization, yung mga outdated na IT systems is ni-improve din para magkaroon tayo ng mas efficient na performance and mas madaling i-integrate na mga IT systems. Next is the Zero Trust Architecture. What? Implement the Zero Trust Framework. Assume no entity inside or outside the network is automatically dito sa Zero Trust Architecture, sinasabi dito, na kahit ito yung mga security model na, kunyari, may mga devices na naligaw, kahit anong pang laman doon, Zero Trust, which is, parang lahat yun kailangan ng continuous verification para sabihin na malinis. Walang inherently trusted para ma-minimize yung risk or yung unauthorized access. Next is the cyber workforce development. Seth.
Cyber workforce development is a multi-faceted approach that not only focus on recruiting and training highly skilled professionals, but also on fostering a culture of security awareness across the entire organization.
Siguro dyan naman na yung keyword, which is yung workforce. Dito sa workforce na to, tinitraining or ini-educate yung mga personnel, yung mga IT personnel sa DoD para magkaroon ng build a skilled cybersecurity workforce na capable sa pag-defense against sa mga cyber threats. Next is the Joint Information Environment.
Joint Information Environment. The DoD promotes the concept of the joint information environment and implement the shared ideal architecture across all military services in the department.
Explain. Dito, nag-create naman ng unified and secure IT framework na nag-aalog sa different branch ng military. Katulad nung, di ba sa AF, mayroong mga branches. Nag-share sila ng mga information para ma-improve yung coordination or operational effectiveness. Next is the partnerships and collaboration.
Partnerships and collaboration. The DOD actively collaborates with private sector companies, research institutions, and international partners to bolster its cybersecurity capabilities and information security strategy.
Dito naman sa sa partnership and collaboration, pinapatibay nito yung cooperation ng mga government agencies para mas mapatibay yung mga private sector companies na magkaroon ng enhanced cybersecurity efforts or shared variable intelligence. Last is resilience and continuity.
Ensuring peace and stability in the face of natural disasters and others.
Siyempre, aanay mo yung first 6 kung wala kang resilience and continuity. Dito sa resilience and continuity, matatake dito yung pag-withstand nyo sa atake, tsaka yung pag-maintain ng continuous backup plans or yung contingency plans in case na magkaroon kayo ng data breach or maging vulnerable kayo sa mga cyber threats. Next is yung mas mahaba. Responsibilities within the DoD enterprise.
Ministry or Department of Defense IT and Cybersecurity Divisions. These divisions oversee national defense IT systems and policies, ensuring that the military has secure, interoperable, and resilient IT infrastructures to support operations.
Itong ministry or yung DoD IT and Cybersecurity Division, sinisecure nito or in-oversee yung cybersecurity policy, managed systems, and in-ensure nito yung kung nasa standard ba yung mga ginagawa ng entire department. Next is the Cyber Defense Command. Jonas. Cyber Defense Command naman is, ito yung nagiging resilient or yung pumoprotekta sa mga cyber attacks at nagko-conduct din sila ng offensive operations kung kailangan. Sila din, yung tinatawag na white hat hacker is. Naging ganun din sila minsan. Next is the Defense Communication Networks.
Defense Communication Network. Every defense enterprise operates secure communication networks to ensure real-time communication between military units, government agencies, and allied forces.
Dito naman sa Defense Communication Networks, minimaintain niya yung secure communication na walang nakikisali, walang nag-wiretap, or para maiwasan yung mga spy or para mas maging efficient yung exchange between different branch of military. Next is yung Joint Operational Commands. What?
Joint Operational Commands manage the use of IT system for the command and control, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and logistics during operations.
Dito naman parang nagko-combine yung nagko-coordinate yung iba't ibang branches ng mga military service na nag-i-ensure na effective pa rin kahit hindi sila parehas ng mga commands. Alam nila kung ano yung gagawin na itong branch na to, ano yung gagawin ng branch na to. Ibig sabihin, mas coordinated yung pag-uusap nila. Next is National Cybersecurity Authorities.
In many countries, national cybersecurity authorities, often under the Ministry of Defense or a separate agency, are responsible for protecting national infrastructure and military data from cyber threats.
Dito naman sa National Cybersecurity Authorities, sila ay nag-set ng worldwide na nationwide na cybersecurity policy. Sila din yung mga nag-respond sa mga significant incidents regarding sa cybersecurity, sa mga security breach, at nag-share din sila ng mga possible threat intelligence. Next is
service branch and cyber divisions.
Service branch, IT, and cyber divisions. Each military service branch, Army, Navy, Air Force, and etc. operates its own IT and cybersecurity divisions to support branch-specific operations.
At sinasabi lang dyan na every branch ng military, for example, yung Army, Navy, Air Force, something like that. Iba't iba yung nila, yung specialization nila pagdating sa IT. Next, Defense Procurement and Logistics Agencies. Tayo na saan? Saan? Yung Defense Procurement.
Defense Procurement and Logistics Agencies. The division oversees national defense health systems and policies ensuring that the military has secure, interoperable, and resilient infrastructure to support operations.
Dito naman sa Procurement and Logistics Agencies, from the word logistics, sila yung nag-ano ng mga possible equipment or sila nag-acquire ng mga distribution ng mga technology and equipment between the different branches of military. Kasama na. National Intelligence Agencies.
National Intelligence Agencies, similar to U.S. Cyber Command, many nations have cyber defense commands or equivalent units responsible for defending national military networks, conducting cyber operations, and responding to cyber threats.
Ito naman is, sila yung nag-serve na research team ng military. Sila yung nag-support ng intelligence by gathering and analyzing information about sa potential cyber threats to national security. Next is private sector and defense industry partners. Hatch.
Private sector and defense industry partners and defense enterprise operates secure communication networks to ensure real-time communication between military units, government agencies, and informal.
Yung private sector and defense industry partners naman, nagko-collaborate sila sa mga technology and companies na nag-develop or nag-innovate ng mga solution and nagpo-provide din sila ng advanced security tools and services. Next is the International Defense Cooperation and Alliances.
Many countries are part of the International Defense Alliance, so where they are responsible for aligning their ideas and security practices with alliance standards. So this ensures their mobility and communication with international nations.
Ito, every Department of Defense ng every country, or sabi ko nga dyan, yung isang organization which is yung NATO, nagko-connect din sila or nag-work sila with other nations para magkaroon sila ng collaborative cybersecurity intelligence na pwede mag-enhance or deflect ng possible na threats. Defense Research and Innovation Agencies.
Different agencies within the defense sector focus on innovation, technology, advancement in IT, cybersecurity, military intelligence. They often collaborate with universities, institutes, and private sector.
Sabi dito, the Defense Research and Innovation Agencies conduct research and develop cutting-edge technologies para ma-enhance yung DoD cyber security capabilities. Bali, nag-enhance lang siya. Last is the training and workforce development.
Training and workforce development. Defense enterprises must ensure that their personnel are trained in IT systems and cybersecurity best practices. This includes developing a skilled cyber workforce capable of defending against vulnerabilities.
sir, sabi ko naman to ay sa strategy pala, yung training and workforce development. Nag-focus yung DOD sa pag-train ng skills para mapa-igting pa yung knowledge ng DOD personnel sa IT and cybersecurity through continuous training and professional development programs.
Last, future of cybersecurity. Okay, sino pwede magbasa ng AI and machine learning? Dan.
AI will be both a tool for cyber defense and exploitation by attackers' threats. AI-powered malware, autonomous attack solutions, AI-based defense systems with predictive threat analysis.
So yung part ko is about parang what ifs na mga future, pwede maging possible future natin sa cybersecurity. So sinasabi dito sa una is, yung mga hackers kasi ngayon, ang ginagawa nila usually is manual hacking, which means sila mismo yung nag-own. And dito naman sinasuggest na by use of AI, pwede nang i-hack yung isang website or isang organization without any human intervention. So yung solution naman doon, kung mas mataas naman yung pwedeng maging parang quality ng pag-hack, meron din naman sa pag-defense. So meron din AI-based defense systems, which means siguro magiging pagalingan na lang ito ng algorithm sa pagdating sa AI. Now next, we have quantum computing. You said.
Quantum computers could break current encryption methods, pose new risk. However, they can also create virtually unbreakable encryption.
Now, itong quantum computing, ginagamit siya for deep research or analysis. So, for example, ito yung mga computer na ginagamit for chess or for any research na kinakailangan ng deep analysis. So, sinasabi dito na bukod doon, pwede rin siyang i-apply dito sa pag-print ng mga encryption method sa kung ano man yung merong passwords or authentication na ginagamit. However, they can also create virtually unbreakable encryption, which is again, palakasan or pa-complex na lang na algorithm na pwedeng magawa. Now we have the IoT expansion. Then,
IoT expansion. With billions of devices interconnected, every device becomes a potential entry point for attacks.
ayan, so pag sinabi natin IoT expansion, which means ito yung mga bagay na pwedeng i-connect sa internet. So, may mga researches ngayon na, for example, itong projector is connected to internet, pwede siyang kontrolin ng someone na nagmula pa sa China. So, with that concept, pwede natin i-apply or pwede i-apply ng mga masamang tao yung ganon to attack or harm a person or an organization. Now, ito yung technological advancement. Doon naman tayo sa evolving nature of cyber threats. State-sponsored cyber warfare. Next.
State-sponsored cyber warfare. Nation states will continue to use cyber attacks to political means.
Ayan, so kung may civil war, which is parang internal conflict siya, pwede raw magkaroon ng cyber war or virtual conflict. So, hindi ko lang sure paano siya magiging cyber war, pero ayun daw yung pwedeng maging possible future. Now next, we have cyber criminal innovation.
Increasing sophistication of ransomware, phishing, and malware. Attacks will become more personalized and targeted.
Ayan, so as you can see, yung parang data mo dun sa parang digital world, parang nagkakaroon ka ng digital copy ng sarili mo. Which means, kung nagkakaroon ka ng digital copy, pwedeng magkaroon ng simulation kung paano ka pwedeng i-attack sa cyber or sa virtual via internet. And I think siguro mas magiging mahirap siyang i-detect kung yung attack na yun is personalized para sa'yo. Now last, we have deepfake technology. One.
The rise of deepfakes will challenge massive digital content and educate projects for meetings.
Ayan, so yung deepfake technology naman, usually ginagamit ko sa, for example, election na naman, tapos pwede kang mag-create ng isang community na trolls na walang totoong tao na nag-handle. Ganun lang siya. Yung mga next slides naman is, kumuha ko ng mga parang movies about na nagbigay ng idea kung ano ba yung mga pwedeng future threats in terms of cybersecurity. Wala niya yung Geostorm, ano lang siya? Trader. Yun lang.
Senate Committee announced you for Jacob Lawson, Climate ISS Chief Coordinator, may the record reflect that he was nearly 1 hour late.
Yeah, sorry about that. I literally had to fly in from outer space. Thanks to a system of satellites, natural disasters have become a thing of the past. We can control our weather. Mr. President, one of the third series satellites malfunctioned over Afghanistan. So your proposal is what?
Shut down all satellites.
Not only how we could die, how to stop the climate condition. But sure there's no further reasons.
You're going back to space.
I'm back. I promise. Have a safe trip, sir. Just don't touch anything.
This is Mr. Jake Lawson.
See? Jake Lawson. Hey, look. You showed that I would fall. I mean, good. I can't find it. I didn't access the block.
So tell it it's about comment.
Not the satellite. Off.
This wasn't enough. It was intentional.
There's potential for catastrophic weather events on a global scale. A geostorm. We have to shut the system down. I think Kim Coates is the president.
You're soliciting a Secret Service agent. Seriously? We're kidnapping the president in a self-driving cat.
Yeah, I kidnapped the president. I'm supposed to state secrets. Yeah, I don't think I'm forgetting, honey. Honey. How are you?
Ayan. Bali yung concept kasi ng Geostorm. So for example, yung Earth, parang pinalabutan na yung buong mundo ng puro IoT na ang issue kasi sa setting na to is yung climate change. Kumbaga, sobrang frequent na ng mga typhoon, ng mga tornadoes. So ginagawa nila, gumawa sila ng mga parang pagkumpul-kumpul ng IoT devices around sa mundo natin. Para kung halimbawa, nagkaroon ng super typhoon dito, pwede nyo sabi agad. Ang kaso lang, nangyari doon sa movie, nagkaroon ng parang pinag-advantage siya ng mga masamang tao na merong ganong tool or parang devices, parang ginawa nila yun para magkaroon sila ng power para to take over yung pasirahin yung iba't ibang parts ng mundo na may countries na parang malalakas din. So, yun yung concept. Now next we have ito pala yun. Then, next we have Inception. Walang yung Inception.
One thing you should know about me. I specialize in a very specific type of security. that? Create the world of the dream. We bring the subject into that dream, and they fill in with their secrets.
When you break it in Scylla,
Well, it's not strictly speaking real. It's how Inception. Feel real over it. Until we wake up till we realize something was actually strange. Possibly afraid to join the bigger darling.
Actually, hindi siya talaga parang nakafocus sa cybersecurity. However, parang gusto ko yung concept na ito pagdating sa possibility or potential niya pagdating sa pag-attack or pag-defend ng pagdating sa cybersecurity. Kasi kung hindi mo kayang infiltrate yung defense ng isang organization, pwede mong infiltrate yung minds ng mga admin ng organization na yun by using subconscious security tulad ng binanggit ni Leonardo DiCaprio. Ayun. So yung parang concept nito is may target sila, tapos yung target nila ayun yung host. Kumbaga papatulogin nila yung target nila, then matutulog din sila, then papasok sila din sa dreams or subconscious mind ng host na yun. Then by that, doon nila malalaman yung mga secrets ng host na yun, and kung wala man doon, parang dun sa loob ng panaginip na yun, parang hanap ulit sila ng another target na related dun sa host na yun, kasi yung pagiging panibagong host, tapos papatulogin ulit, tapos matutulogin sila, tapos papasok din ulit sila dun sa subconscious mind na another host naman yun. Parang, ano siya, maraming layers. So I think that's all for our lecture for today.
May mga tanong po ba kayo?
Hindi pa rin ganyan.